Shalom. It's your brother Yawanathan. First and foremost, want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. Now, today we're going to talk about heartache. And it's a familiar feeling you'll come to learn, the longer you're in this thing. I've been in this thing a short time myself. And it perpetually you experience it. My short time being in it, but you got to ask yourself, well, what purpose does sorrow serve? What purpose does catching hell, going through adversity, what purpose does it serve, in the grand scheme of things for the Lord? He puts us through these particular things so that we could be molded into the spiritual man that we need to be, to endure the test that's coming up, to learn how to, judge righteous judgment, even when things may not seem so clear to somebody in the world. We're able to see clearly between what's right and what's wrong. Okay? The first precept I want to go to is Ecclesiastes 7:2. It says, "It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by sadness of the countenance the heart is made better." Now, in our in our customs, in our heritage, when we were referring to the heart, we were referring to the mind of a person. Now, when you're going through heartache, what do people do? You reflect. You self-examine, which is something we're constantly supposed to be doing anyway. But the Lord gives us a little nudge to be in that mind state because, He's putting us through our paces, so to speak. Going through, adversity is a rite of passage in this thing. And it tells you that when you go to Sirach 2:1, it says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation." But continuing on in Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter and the 4th verse, it says, "The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning." All right? But the heart of the fools is in the house of mirth. And you see the bigger portion, the 2/3 of our people, they are in the house of mirth. Although we're in our hell, we're constantly being oppressed. This devil constantly comes up with schemes and ploys and psyops to further keep us down, further keep us detached from a spiritual state, from our Father. Our people, they remain in this house of mirth. They get caught up in the cares of this life, caught up in things in the world. They're caught up in escapism. And in turn, they have no idea how to discern between good and evil, because they give no time to ponder it, to self-examine, which is something that comes by default when you're in the house of sorrow. Verse 5 again, it says, "It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. For as the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of a fool. This is also vanity." So you got, what are some examples we can take from some of the men in the scriptures, when they dealt with tough times? Well, let's go. Let me go to Ezekiel, the 24th chapter, and we'll start at the 15th verse. Okay, it reads, "Also the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man," and Salaki, if I fumble over a word here and there, I'm driving, so it shouldn't be. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up. It says, "Son of man, behold, I take away from thee the desire of thine eyes." And when you look up that word desire in the blue letter, it goes back to makmad, okay? And one of the definitions for it, if I'm not mistaken, is a pleasant thing. So he takes away the pleasant thing from thine eyes with a stroke, right? And it says, "Yet neither shalt thou mourn nor weep, neither shall thy tears run down." Okay, so in this instance, what he took the life of Ezekiel's wife, and he even told him not to weep about it, and he still had to walk uprightly in his purpose, which was to be prophesying, bringing out the word, and there's going to be things that are taken Shalaki, there are going to be things that are taken away from us in the times to come, but we can't fault on our purpose. We can't fault on, what the Lord set us here for. Okay? Let's continue on. Verse 17, Ezekiel 24:17. Forbear to cry, make no mourning for the dead. Bind the tire of thine head upon thee, and put on thy shoes upon thy feet, and cover not thy lips, and eat not the bread of men. So I spake unto the people in the morning, and at even my wife died. And I did in the morning as I was commanded. So he remained constant, unmovable, and steadfast. And catching this adversity, catching the constant hell, being in heartache, you build up a callus to it. All right. So because we're gonna have through part of this knowledge, and I want to double back when we read in Ecclesiastes 7 and 7 and 4, it said what the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning. So the Lord is putting us in this state of being in almost a constant mourning, sighing and crying, right, for the abominations being done in the midst thereof. But us being in this state right now, when the test comes, when we're put under affliction, it's going to come to pass that we're going to have stability. All right, because that state of constantly sighing and crying is attached to the wisdom. Right? So by default, we're gonna be equipped with the tools that we need to navigate, that time. Thus, the stability comes in. All right? Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times. All right, now let's go back to where was I? I just left off of Ezekiel 24:18. It says, so I spake unto the people in the morning, and at even my wife died, and I did in the morning as I was commanded. So he remained steadfast. Another thing to keep in mind is that anything we lost is going to be abundantly restored. So you got to understand that too. That should give you comfort as well. When you come into this truth and you learn how life and death works, you realize nothing is necessarily final. Death isn't final. You see. So like Elder Yashawamba always says, a lot of the relationships and people you have in the world and things like that, it's really just conditions of the battle. And when you start to really dive into the word and walk it and apply it to your life, you begin to detach from the world. Those that you still have love for these people, but it's not something that could affect your walk, something that could make you veer off of your path. It's something that's there. You had 1 million mothers, 1 million fathers, 1 million children. You've been here. You're no new thing under the sun, man. You're not new. So all those things, you'll get them back if you lose them here. It's okay. We're gonna be okay. Let's read Matthew the 19th chapter. Since I made that statement, and the 28th verse. All right, it reads, and Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me, we're all following Yahushua, right? What he said in John 15. Let me go get it really quick, guys. Bear with me. In John 15 says, ye are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. If I'm not mistaken, let me get there. So we're following Yahushua, we're his friends, right? John 15 and 13. It says, greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. And Yahushua, what did he do? He laid down his life for us. And now, like it talks about in Romans 12, we're being those living sacrifices. We're reciprocating that love for him, right? By being those living sacrifices. And we're following him. All right, verse 14, it says, ye are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. Okay, so we're friends of Yahushua, man. Now we go back to Matthew 19 and 28. It says, and Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, all right, when the Son of Man shall sit on the throne of his glory, when the kingdom is being established, ye also shall sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Man, we're gonna have joint rulership with our big brother. Okay, and there's no higher position that a man could have than that position. Okay, all right. And everyone that have forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. Okay? So you're going to get all these things back. So it's not something that you should really even bat an eye at. Now, that's easier said than done, of course, but we're working to get there, man. by, continue to read and continue to act out what we read. Continue to have faith and rehearse the righteous acts to the best of our ability. We're building up that calluses furthermore. All right, now, what was the point I was about to make? Basically we just gotta continue to have the tunnel vision. Pray for the Lord to put that spirit to have the tunnel vision, okay? So we can have that stability that I mentioned earlier, like it says in Isaiah 33:6. It was the knowledge should be the stability at all times. All right. So we're supposed to trust in the Lord. Trust that in this walk, this path that He set us upon, it's gonna pay off, and indeed it will. All right. So this is Micah 7:5. All right. It says, "Trust ye not your friend, put ye not confidence in a guide. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. For the son dishonoreth the father, the daughter riseth up against the mother, and the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law. A man's enemies are men of his own house." So going into, that family in the world that you have, man, most likely, man, they're gonna fold. The Lord's giving you new family that are on the same mission that you're on. They have the same goals in mind that you have. They're seeking the same new heavens and a new earth that you're seeking. Okay? Verse 7, Micah 7:7. "Therefore I will look unto the Lord." This is the point. "Therefore I will look unto the Lord. I will wait for the power of my salvation. My God will hear me." All right? So that's where, that's where your comfort needs to lie in. Because a lot of people, you put your, I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. You can't be putting your comfort in your woman or in your children or, in people in general. Your comfort needs to come from what? The Word, the Comforter, right? And if you're putting the Lord first, and this is truly what's valuable to you, right? If this is truly your treasure, right? Like the scriptures say, it's Matthew 6. Talking about keeping your eye single. I'm paraphrasing, what a man's treasure is, there will his heart be also, right? If this is truly what's the treasure to you, this is where you'll find your comfort, okay? All right, Micah 7:7, it says, "Therefore I will look unto the Lord, I will wait for my God, I will wait for the God of my salvation, my power will hear me," right? So this is where we get our comfort. This is where we get our stability once more. Now let's go to I'm not even going to read that. But you guys, as you know, when you go to Matthew, the 10th chapter, it tells you that, the Lord didn't come to set peace on earth. He didn't come to have that kumbaya spirit to bring everybody together. The Lord is coming back, and He's going to be separating people. He's come to set at variance, man. All right, He's going to be weeding out those, who are not walking uprightly, who do not honor true riches. All right. So with that being said, man, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to you all, that you got something from it. I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right. May the blessing of election be upon your house. All right. Shalom.